thing. So in 2013, we played in the Gold Cup. A bunch of teams were missing their players. This was like their B teams. So you can just imagine. I think that's probably the closest I ever felt to feeling what it's like to be Lionel Messi. Because every game, Tim, I said, if I just want to be the guy who tries to score 2 or 3 goals, I could probably score 2 or 3 goals in this game. Unfiltered Soccer with Landon and Tim, presented by Volkswagen. Volkswagen has long been a supporter of soccer in America and has proudly been a partner of U.S. Soccer for over 5 years.
Good morning, good afternoon. It's Unfiltered Soccer with Landon, Donovan, and Tim Howard. Landon, this is one of my favorite intros of the entire first season. It just simply is. If you can read my shirt, it says, Nas said mistakes make masterful teachers. Anything Nas says is everything. Because here's the thing. Nas is top 2 and he's not 2. And if you want to argue that, put it in the comments, but you're going to lose. He signed my hand. I went to a concert. He signed my hand. I got it tattooed.
I didn't know he signed your hand.
Yeah, he actually signed backstage. Got it tattooed. I've got Illmatic tattooed on me. I say all that because this isn't about me, but this is about Nas. And I want our listeners to know I'm very rarely mystified. But you text me the other week and were like, I'm going to see Nas. And I text you back after pulling myself off the floor and thinking, why is LD going to see Nas? Like, you haven't, like, give me some background to this, because then you sent me videos from the show. All you've done is like completely put Nas lyrics in our group chat. You're a changed man. Like, I've been on this thing since 94 when I was in high school, 30 years. Where's this come from?
I don't think you appreciate how good Nas is, first of all. Okay, so we went to Vegas this weekend.
Okay.
And the idea was to go for my wife's birthday. We had some friends. And like a week and a half ago, they were like, oh, Chainsmokers is playing. So we should go at XS. And I'm like, I'm in bed by 9. Like, they don't come on till 1:30. But whatever, I'm going to make it. It's my wife's birthday. She's excited. So Friday afternoon, we're walking through the Wynn, and someone goes, oh, check that out. Nas is playing. And my first thought was like, oh, Tim loves Nas. And so they said, should we go? And I said, well, if we can find tickets together, I guess. And then I have to be honest, literally the only reason I went is because I wanted to understand you better. Right? Because I thought, like, it'll help. I swear. I swear on my life. Because I know one song, or knew one song from Nas.
Yep.
If I Ruled the World, that's all I know.
Of course.
And so I was like, all right, this will help me understand Tim better. So we get in, we're up in like the mezzanine. It's a small theater. It's like maybe 1,000 people, 1,500 people. And he's playing with the Las Vegas Philharmonic Symphony.
Mm-hmm.
So it was cool, like, just to see them first. And then he comes out. And like, when he comes out, he's got, you're around people sometimes and they just have a presence. Mm-hmm. Like, one time Muhammad Ali walked in a room and you were just like, whoa. Jeez. Bill Clinton, when he walks in a room, you're like, oh, that's like, it just feels different. You can feel it. And when he came out, I was like, whoa, this is kind of interesting.
Let's go.
And then he started singing, and I can't tell you, like, I have not stopped listening to his music.
I love it, dude.
Like 36 hours.
I'm so pumped. Oh, and I told you, I'm going to send you, now that you're on the Nas train, I'm going to send you like my favorite deep cuts from, like, not just the ones that are commercial, but the deep cuts. And here's the thing, LD, I have a feeling Nas listens to our podcast, but if he doesn't, start tagging him. If Nas's people are out there,
tag the hell out of him.
We got to get him on the show to talk hip hop, soccer. Here's the thing. Queensbridge was supposed to get a soccer team. Nas, listen to me. Queensbridge was supposed to get a soccer team and it never happened, which means the idea is there. You're an entrepreneur. You're an investor. It just came out in some business publication how great of an investor you are. You invest in New York. You've invested with some of my friends. Let's invest in soccer. Me, you, LD. You're gonna need some soccer muscle. Let's make this happen. Let's do it.
When you're around people that are that level of talent, you can't help. Like, Nas is not. I did not listen to Nas. I did not listen to, like, it's hip hop, right?
Yeah.
I did not. That was not my thing ever growing up. I appreciate it. But when you sit there and you just see how talented it is, and you can only catch some of the lyrics if you don't know. So you're like, oh my God, did you just say that's like really good? And then you go back and listen and look, and the level of talent. My buddy and I were sitting next to each other. We're like, what do you think his IQ is? He's got to be like in the 150s. I mean, he's so
genius, bro.
brilliant. He's a total
Amazing.
genius.
Yeah.
It was so fun to watch. So now I get it. And I get you more now.
Well, you can segue out of this now.
Okay. All right. So if you hate Nas, leave a bad review at Unfiltered Soccer. If you love him, leave a great review.
You love. All love.
You all love. Send us questions about why the hell am I listening to Nas at feedback at Unfiltered Soccer. Always subscribe social media, Unfiltered Soccer, guys. And then follow the show, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. All right. Nas aside.
Yeah.
I wonder if he was, oh no, he was in Vegas. He was not at the Club World Cup final. No. Everybody else,
everybody else was.
Anybody who's anybody was at the finals in New York. I was in the casino and my buddy's like, hey, I want to bet on this game. And I'm like, I'm not touching this. You do what you want. And he's like, well, haven't PSG won like a gazillion in a row? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, all right, I think I should. I didn't even ask him if he did or not. We were doing whatever. I check in at halftime and I'm like, am I seeing this right? Is it 3-0 Chelsea? I thought it'd be 3-0 PSG. So this was a shocking result. Not that Chelsea won, but the result was shocking, right? I mean, I was not expecting that. And we'll get into Cole Palmer in a sec, but just how did you digest that? I was not expecting that.
Well, I was wrong. It was in my backyard, and I was gonna go. I got to be honest. I have been struggling to find days off, and so I just went out to the Hamptons and posted up and had a beach day. I watched the game, but I had a beach day in the morning. So I declined invitation only because I'm just desperate for a couple days off. I got it wrong. Everywhere I turned, I was like, dude, PSG are like on the verge of world domination. But Chelsea, man, Chelsea won the Europa Conference League, right? And finished really strong in the Premier League. And now they win the Club World Cup. And I just think like Todd Boehly is up to something, man. Like on the surface, he presents like this really classy businessman, but I think he has a laboratory where he's got like this coat on and there's this bubbling green stuff everywhere, and he's doing all these potions because he's figured something out that the rest of us haven't, man. Like buy every young player, like a squad big enough to field 2 Premier League teams, right? That's a mess, everyone thought. Hire and fire coaches until you find the right one. That's a mess, everyone thought. What the hell are you giving 9-year contracts when Premier League teams only give like 3- and 4-year contracts? That must be a mess. Everything he's doing, people in hindsight are going, oh my God, he got it right. And so he's found a manager who knew how to balance the squads. That manager basically came in and said, like, there's a few senior players, surplus requirements. I want them out. And if you're not going to get them out of the club, they're going to be in the reserves. He then said, this squad is too big. We all have said that about Chelsea. He said, cool, you're going to be my Premier League squad. You're going to be my Europa League squad. End of story. You're actually going to train at different times. End of story. Right? So they got that. The other thing about it is, LD, he's not afraid to miss Todd Boehly. He's not afraid to spend money. So he's missed. He knew he was going to miss on some. So then he goes, well, I missed on a striker. I'm going to go get João Pedro and Liam Delap. Bet I don't miss on one of those. Right? And so he's constantly adding to the squad. And I just like, look, the other thing when you and I always talk about it is like they win the Europa Conference League. Forget what you say about it, right? That it's like the 3rd best European competition. It was still a final. They still needed to win the final, and they have silverware. Club World Cup, a couple months later, less than a couple months later. Yeah, it's silverware. It's a real trophy. Got to go win it. They won it, right? And so now you're starting to think, okay, hang on, PSG. Like you probably are on the verge of world dominance, but look out because when it comes to the Premier League, I think Chelsea going to have something to say about a lot of things.
Yeah, I'm actually really curious to see now how this translates. And, if you're certainly Liam Delap and especially Nicky Jackson now, you're like, oh my God, because João Pedro, he's been phenomenal. And it was fun to watch. I just rewatching the goals. Cole Palmer is... I heard people for a long time, Tim, and you guys on NBC talk about how talented he was. And I would watch games and I go, I know, but it sometimes just doesn't come off that. When you see him in a moment like that, it's incredible, dude. The second goal is so good because his ability to just calmly wait and wait and wait. And as a striker, I'll just tell people in that moment, it feels like everything is happening so fast and you have to make a decision quickly. And the best players that I ever played it with, against, whatever, would just take a second. And Jaime Moreno for DC was a genius at this. He would get in those moments and there's people flying, things are happening, and he would just wait and wait and wait and let people make his mind up for him and then just roll it in the corner. And that's what he did. He just waited. And then everything all of a sudden opened. You see it with quarterbacks in the NFL. It looks like it's so hectic, whatever, and then they slow down. Oh, there's the window, bang. And he's just, I mean, he looks like a different player now with João Pedro with him.
Well,
he really does.
Yeah, no, it's a great description. I mean, Cole Palmer is special because he's unflappable, man. The kid is just, he's ice cold, man. He just is. Nothing phases him. And like last year, so 2 years ago, I think he scored like 20 plus goals or something in all competitions. Then last year he went through, speaking of cold, he went through this cold spell where he didn't register a goal or assist for a while. I can't remember the exact stat. And people were like, he's come off the boil. Like, is he all that? And you're still thinking like, he is all that. He really is. Like, talent like that just doesn't like drop off. He's so good. And the thing about João Pedro, which will probably go amiss for a lot of viewers, he was at Watford, I believe, and then Brighton bought him from Watford, right? Because they recognize his talent. And then he really wasn't, over the time that I've watched him at Brighton, he's never really been out and out their number one striker, right? Like he's played, but they've chopped and changed a little bit. And in the moments that he played, you're just like, this guy's a joke. Like he's fast. He's got clever feet. He can drop into the 10 because of the way that Brighton played, right? Where they played basically like 4 up. He would drop into the 10 role. He could body people. He's strong, like really strong. And like he's clever. And I'm just thinking, this player is really, really special. My colleagues, Robbie Musto and Robbie Earl, they really like him. They would always say like, there's another level for this guy. And we're seeing it. And we're seeing it. And just, I think it's kind of what Cole Palmer needed. Cause again, he's João Pedro's got a little bit. He's got a little trickster in him. He can run beyond and get vertical. He's a good finisher. He's an audacious finisher, by the way. Like give him an inch and he's going to try and like bend one around the defender or chop you. Like,
well, it's really good. Just little chip too was so good. His finish was so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And on Cole Palmer's goal, I believe it was him. You just said his willingness and desire to run vertically. And it's how he scored his goal, just slipping in behind. But then he does that on Cole Palmer's goal too. And it takes 3 or 4 defenders with him and then just opens everything up. So they're going to be really fun to watch. I'm very intrigued now. It'd be nice if they're, in addition to Liverpool, Arsenal, if City get back and then Chelsea are back. And if there was a real 4-team title race, that'd be fun to watch.
But I mean, if you think about it now for Enzo Maresca, like he's got a bunch of young, hungry players. And he's going to basically challenge them and go, you want a Europa Conference League? Great. Finish really well in the Premier League? Great. Club World Cup champions? Great. Go show everybody. There's more to this team. And when you're around a bunch of self-motivated individuals, it's easy for the coach, man. So it's exciting. I'm happy for Chelsea. It's going to be a good season.
Deserve it. I mean, they've earned it. All right. So before we talk big picture of the tournament overall, we were talking about, did people take it seriously? A couple people took it seriously, Tim. Did you notice that at the end of the game?
I did.
Yeah, all right, go on.
Well, Luis Enrique, the
so good
manager for PSG, there was obviously a squabble. There was at the end of the game, everybody was coming together. People were pissed off, blah blah blah, and I don't know who was talking and squabbling with who, but then there was like a couple of Chelsea players, one of which being João Pedro, and a couple of, I think, PSG players, and one of them, those being their manager, Luis Enrique, and he's angry, which is fine. He's totally angry. But what did he say? First of all, before I tell you what he did, what did he say? He said something like, I was just trying to break up.
He said, this is the situation we must all avoid. Well, clearly not you. That goes without saying. My intention is that I wanted to separate the footballers so the situation didn't become worse.
Lies.
Didn't look like he was separating anything.
Brilliant manager. He was a brilliant player. He's lying to me because I watched the video over and over. And by the way, amazing footage. He's gone for João Pedro's throat twice. Missed the first time. Gets him the second time. Then João Pedro thought he was in the middle of the game.
But he's just trying to diffuse the situation. Couldn't you tell?
I'm all for it. Listen, I'm all for a little squabble. Everything was fine. No one got hurt. But he definitely wasn't trying to break it up. But it means something. These teams, like I always tell you, they're highly motivated. LD, they want to win. It hurts when they don't, and so something was on the line. They were playing for it, and I'm here for it, man. I loved it.
And you know what you forget is it's been a really long time since PSG lost a game.
Long time.
Long time.
Winners don't like to lose.
No, they don't.
LD, it's time for the Unfiltered Refresh, sponsored by Coors Light. Choose chill. Get Coors Light delivered. Go to CoorsLight.com/USLNT. I'd be lying to you if I said there were any other candidates for who chose chill but Cole Palmer. You know his celebration. You know what the way he likes to rock.
It was shivers.
It's cold. He's cold. He's ice cold.
Mm-hmm.
2 goals and an assist in a big match. He's a big game player for being so young in his early 20s. The kid oozes confidence. He oozes chill, man. He is just like he's unfazed. I think it's also his upbringing. He's kind of unfazed by the limelight. He's just one of the guys.
He's humble.
He's humble. He doesn't love the camera. I mean, he likes the stage. He doesn't love the camera and all the things that come along with it. He just wants to play his football. And I just think when you watch him in the game, he likes to drift. You mentioned last week, when someone's left-footed, they're ultra left-footed, and that's him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he uses his right leg to stand on, but everything else is like his left foot is just a wand. And I know you love the way that he combined with João Pedro as well. It's really good.
Yeah, and it was fun. Did you see? I don't know if you saw the video. It was in New York, and he was on one of those little scooters, those bird scooters or whatever. And he's just got his hoodie on.
Yeah.
But I think the reason people love playing in America and being in America is because like nobody bothered him.
Totally.
Right? There's got to be some people. Obviously, clearly someone saw him and took a video with their phone.
Yeah.
But he could just cruise around New York on a little scooter. Like, you can't do that in England.
How cool is this guy? But also, he doesn't care.
Doesn't
care. Like, that's the thing. I think he's in Times Square, just hood up on a scooter.
Just cruising.
Unfazed.
No, he's the epitome of... I mean, look, you said no one else, maybe Messi. Yeah. 5 games with 2 goals. But this was in a final against the undisputed best team in the world, which for sure Chelsea took a crack at this weekend. So, yeah, chill. Cole Palmer, congrats to you. He chose chill this week, and we cheers you, buddy.
Well done, Cole. So I was having lunch with my friend at FIFA on Saturday, the day before the game, and I was like giddy, and I was super stoked about it, and about the tournament. I was like, "How do you guys feel?" It's been great, and he kind of like ho-hummed it, and he was like, "Oh, it could be better," and obviously over analytically, he was just figuring out how to make it better. But he was like, "Yeah, it's been good," And you and I have had questions. It's been like, are the teams and players going to take it seriously? Are there going to be butts in seats? Is it going to feel big? And I think all those questions for me have been answered. The players definitely took it seriously. It definitely felt, I mean, the spectacle that was the final felt huge, right? And there was some good football on display and loads of people watching. So ultimately, ticket prices, I think they admitted were too high early on. They figured out a way to either lower those or give some of those away, because ultimately it looked really good, didn't it?
Yeah. So the questions were, right, were there going to be people in the stadiums? For the most part, yes, there were some games that were duds, but you expected that. For the most part, yes. Did the players and coaches care? I mean, players were like,
definitely.
They were after it. The coaches on the sideline celebrating, and I mean, they were really into it. The fans were really into it. So all that was good. I mean, obviously they want things to get better and do better. And by the way, we're not paid by FIFA or anybody to say. I said from the beginning, I think it's going to be really good if the players take it seriously. And it was really fun to watch. I thought the whole tournament was good. One thing I've said over and over is, people ask me, I think America is the only place you can have it for it to be successful. I think that's right. And it's not like, it's pro-American thing or whatever. It's just I told you, when I was walking through the streets in LA doing Gold Cup, I see a River jersey, I see a Fluminense jersey, I see a Al Ali jersey, I see Chelsea jersey. I mean, there's so many people from those countries already here. And so I think people are going to travel across the world in tens of thousands to watch? No, I don't. But here it worked great. So I think FIFA needs to really think about that.
Yeah, it was good. It was great.
Okay. So last thing, as we head into now teams going back into the European season, if we forecast ahead, is this extra month or so of soccer, how's that going to impact teams? Because now they have believe there's about 4 weeks now till most people's next game, maybe 5 weeks. How do you think that? Do you think that has an impact going forward? I mean, Jurgen Klopp obviously had a lot to say about that. How do you think that impacts things?
Well, it's interesting, right? I mean, I look at one of the things I'm going to try and do for myself and you, but for our listeners, is like speak to somebody or try and speak to somebody at one of these teams and figure out what's the plan moving forward, right? Because I'm guessing what's today, July 14th. I mean, Man United, Bournemouth, Everton, and West Ham are flying over here in 10 days for the Premier League summer series.
For their
Summer
preseason,
series.
right.
So they've been, I'm guessing, if I can remember correctly from many years ago, teams have been in preseason since July 1st-ish, right? So you're looking at the 4 semifinalists, maybe the 8 quarterfinalists from the Club World Cup. Like Chelsea's going to land in London and do what? I'm guessing they have to go on holiday, right? So they'll give them a minimum. Where's my calendar? They're going to give them 3 weeks. Have to get 3 weeks off. What's today's day? Again, 14th, right? They have to get 3 weeks off, but their season starts on the 15th or 16th of August. So 3 weeks off, then I mean, you see what kind of math I'm doing for Chelsea. 3 weeks off takes you to August 4th, but their first game is, I don't know, 12 days later or something. So what are they going to do?
Yeah, it's a tough one because normally you have whatever 5-6 weeks off. You can say for 2 or 3 weeks I'm doing nothing, sitting on the beach drinking nothing. Then you start running a little bit, but now you're in that in between. So I don't even know if they could really get out of shape in 3.5 or 4 weeks.
Right, but here's and this is going to be, anyone who argues against the fact that there are, like they want less games, right? Like this is going to be a big argument for them. Cole Palmer, good example, right? He's one of many because Chelsea have a bunch of internationals. He is going to have to and want to, by the way, play every single game for England, right? 2 friendlies in September, 2 friendlies in October, 2 friendlies in November. He might get the League Cup off, right? So I don't know when the Premier League teams come into the League Cup in England, like September. He's going to play there. I believe they're in Champions League. He's going to play every Saturday, Wednesday, and every international between now and the World Cup with 3 weeks off. Well, that's at best, by the way, if Chelsea give their players 3 weeks off. I mean, that's wild to me.
So that's the challenge, right? And it's like, well, because there's good prize money, I was going to say it's better to get knocked out in the group stages so you have more time. But there was prize money along the way, so the players were earning money along the way. But if you are one of the finalists or you're Chelsea now, I mean, it is going to be a challenge. I will be curious to see. I mean, Chelsea has a big squad, though, Tim, right? How do you leave Cole Palmer out?
I get it, but the first game of the season, nobody's trying to hear. I mean, I don't care, but nobody's trying to hear. Let's have some squad rotation for our opening game of the season, right? Because you know as well as I do, at the end of the season, the margins are so fine between winning the league, getting into the Champions League. You know what I'm saying?
No, I know, and we would always say like first game of the season counts the same as the last game.
I know.
So you forget about we can just take our time and ease in, and so Chelsea will be the interesting one to watch because they went the furthest, they were there the longest. Sure, it's gonna be interesting. Okay, I said last thing, but I have one other question. Going forward, and I'd be curious to hear your friend's take on this. Do you think they'll change how teams qualify for this? Because it's kind of like the World Cup. The World Cup is not the best 32, used to be 32, 48 teams. It's not the best 48 teams next summer. It's not. It's the best who qualify given the amount of qualifying spots they have. If it was the best, there'd be more teams from Europe, maybe a few more from South America, et cetera. So do you think they change? Because this was not the world's quote-unquote best teams. Do you think they change any of that to have, there's some big teams not involved, right? Liverpool not involved, right? So like there were good teams not involved.
Right. Yeah. You asked me a question. In my answer, I'll probably ask you a few more. But Live Golf and the PGA would never merger. That's what the PGA said, right?
Until they would.
Never.
Right.
They would never merge until what?
Until they would.
Until they would. And why would they? What would make them merge?
Probably some money.
Correct.
Would be my guess.
So right now you're looking at this was a dry run. This was a chem test, by the way, right? To see if it could work on many levels. Prize money, right? We see is real. The glory of it is real. And club recognition, like getting a foothold in America is big to everybody. You're looking at teams around the world, right? You're looking at teams around the world, big teams. You just said it, big teams. Your Barcelona's, your Real Madrid's, your Man United's, who from Germany wasn't there, so on and so forth, right? Certain Italian teams. They're going to look at this and go, we want in. You know what the organizers are going to say? No, you can't get in. Of course they're going to say, we want you in. It makes more sense. It makes more money, right? And so some of the smaller teams will be out. Now, you're listening to this right now going, well, that's not fair, and how can they do that? I don't have the answer to that. I'm saying in the fifth, by the time we're looking at the Club World Cup in the summer for the fifth time, we will probably have all of the world's best teams in there. And then you're asking me how?
They'll find a way.
They'll find a way.
Yes. Yeah, okay. Fair enough. I agree with that. All right, let's take a break. When we come back, we will dive into the latest news around MLS. It was a big MLS weekend and lots of U.S. men's national team transfer implications, dealings going on right here on Unfiltered Soccer with Landon and Tim. As always, presented by Volkswagen. Stay right there.
The Unfiltered Soccer podcast is brought to you by Volkswagen, the presenting partner of U.S. Soccer.
As the U.S. gets ready to host the world for soccer's biggest moment, Volkswagen is helping people discover new turfs and new ways to play the beautiful game right here in the U.S.
From deaf and power wheelchair soccer to beach and futsal, VW is actively supporting all the communities and teams within the U.S. soccer ecosystem. They've signed U.S. soccer talent from across the portfolio of the Federation and will be helping to give these less popular forms of soccer a platform moving forward.
As a longtime friend of Volkswagen, I'm excited to support them in their mission to increase visibility of all forms of soccer. I was recently on set with them shooting their new campaign to do just that.
Keep an eye out for that launching soon, alongside the all-new redesigned 2025 Tiguan. It's a beautiful car. We've even had one with us at a recent live show. Make sure to check it out in person and learn more at VW.com.
All right, Timmy, it's summertime. You remember these days. Kids are home. It's exhausting. You're babysitting all day. I know you don't think it's babysitting. It is babysitting. In order to choose chill, I'm on the golf course, man. My wife knows when it's time to get away and choose chill. See you later. I'm going to go play golf.
I got to be honest. I choose chill a lot in the summer. Going to concerts, family barbecues. I spend a ton of time on the beach. I reach into the cooler, get a Coors Light. For me, I choose chill very, very often.
Coors Light is mountain cold refreshment, crisp and refreshing as the Colorado Rockies. Make the most out of the times you choose to chill. Choose Coors Light.
Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door. Visit CoorsLight.com/USLNT. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Beer. USLNT on USMNT. Right, let's talk transfers. I mean, really... Most of these guys are on holiday somewhere, training, going for a morning run. Like, what do you really do on holiday? Do a couple sit-ups, a morning run. There's no ball involved. The rest of these guys are all on holiday. But let's talk transfers.
Did you say a couple sit-ups?
Yeah, right. You go for a morning run, a couple sit-ups.
Like 3 sit-ups, and then you're good?
Like a couple sets. You're either on you're on the beach somewhere. You're on
I never once did sit-ups on vacation.
Did you not?
Never.
You were always
I never
fit,
looked
though.
like you. Yeah, right. Stupid. All right, Malik to Bayer Leverkusen.
Yep, Malik Tillman.
Thoughts?
Yep. Yeah, love. I mean, I love.
Yeah.
You know, I talked about this before. New manager in Erik ten Hag. He knows the Dutch game inside and out, having previously been at Ajax. And Malik Tillman, coming from PSV, like, he'll have all the insights on this guy, right? This isn't, I mean, I think you agreed with me. This isn't like a random sporting director going after a player that the coach doesn't know, which we know happens, right?
Yep.
This is this would have been hand selected by Eric Ten Hag, who's the new manager, who I think is going to get a real chance, which is exciting.
Yeah, I mean, he will have spoken to dozens of people
Yeah.
in the Netherlands about him, right? So
Yeah.
I like it. I'm going to say this, and this is going to hold true for every single one of these players, as long as they're playing. As long as they're playing significant minutes, it's the only thing that matters. Which leads us to, let's go Ajamong next. This is not confirmed yet, but by all accounts, he's going to Derby. I have hesitations about this. I could be wrong. Certainly been wrong in the past. I think of it from a Charlotte FC perspective and from his perspective. Okay. You have a national team player. Now, is he going to start in the World Cup? Probably not. Is he on the roster? I don't think there's any question he's on the roster as long as he just doesn't fall apart.
Yeah.
So if you're Charlotte, you have a national team player you can promote, market. He's going to play all the minutes. Great. If you're Ajamong, you know you are playing basically every minute of every game for the next year. You're going to be in form. You're going to be playing, scoring goals, fit. All that becomes a risk when you go to Derby. So I have my reservations. I'm hoping it's the best. I think it's actually the right type of league for him because he can be impactful.
Yeah, it's 8 million. It's risky. It's 8 million plus two add-ons to get it to 10. So let's call it 8 million, right?
Right.
Here's the issue that we're having ultimately in MLS, right? You get a bunch of American kids, you being one of them, me being one of them, people before us and after us. And there's a dream of going to Europe, right? Part of that dream is glory, but part of that dream is money, right? And so we're struggling to keep our best talent. I think you and I talked about this last episode or the one before, I can't remember. Struggling to keep our best talent, right? Because we undervalue our players and we overvalue an $8 million transfer, right? And so we let that player go because that player also in undervaluing them is like, yeah, but I can go to Derby County and make, I'm guessing he's going to make
he's going to make
times his salary.
More, 10 more. I think he's on 100 and something grand. He's going to make 7, 8, 10 times his salary.
Right. So what that player's, whether you just said, which I don't disagree with, like, is this the best situation or not? That player's going to go, yeah, I have $1 and a dream. Like I believe in myself. And by the way, even if I fail miserably, I can always come back or do something else. Like I'm gonna earn money that I couldn't otherwise do. So we don't.
But are you going to be on a home World Cup roster, Tim? This is actually an easy answer. If you're the agent, you go to Charlotte and you say, he's not making 100 grand anymore. He's making 750 grand. We're going to sign him to a 3-year deal. If pick the club comes in for a reasonable number, not the typical MLS. Well, he's worth 50 million. No, he's not. Then you put that in the contract, and if everyone agrees it's time to go, it's time to go. But it's not this happens all over the world. This is an easy answer.
I'm with you. Right? I'm with you.
So it's not one or the other. It's not stay and make 100 or go to Derby and make $1 million. He can make 750 or $1 million in MLS right now. He can.
I agree with you.
And I think that's the solution.
Can he?
Yeah, he can. They can find a way to. Of course they can.
I agree with you. I'm saying, has anybody done that
with him?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I don't know who represents him, but this is an easy answer. This is an easy answer. But look, his choice, his life. I get the money part is very real for people who are like, you got to do da-da-da. It's like, this is real money, real money. So
I agree.
We'll keep our eyes on it.
Yep.
Damian Downs goes from Cologne to Southampton. It's a really interesting move. I don't have, do you have a gauge of guys who come from Germany and then move into England? Like, how is that just stylistically? They're so different.
Yeah. I don't love this move. Cologne is Bundesliga or second Bundesliga?
They're always like bottom of the Bundesliga.
Yo-yo.
They're yo-yo.
So he's going from one yo-yo club to another. I mean, Southampton used to be, they're under new ownership now, I think Croatian ownership. They used to be kind of like that solid, really well-run football club, not big, right? They're going to stay in, they had in my time in the Premier League, they had a long stint in so they're always thereabouts. Recently, under the new ownership, we've seen managers come and go. We've seen odd signings. So I don't I don't love it. I would imagine, again, salary wise, he'll get a bump. I think he'll play. I would suspect he'll. They're bringing him into play, which again, championship is really good level. So, if he hits the ground running and scores some goals and keeps himself in the team, it could be a good thing.
I will say this, and this is a weird little nuance to this deal. If Southampton, under new ownership, they're an anomaly because they decide to play how they're going to play all the time. Southampton fighting for promotion, I like way better than him going to a club that is fighting for survival.
Yeah, that's a great point. That's a great point.
I like that way better for him. So let's hope that is a scenario that is beneficial. And Cologne just got promoted to the Bundesliga. So it's interesting they would let him go too, right? Because that kind of tells you.
Right.
Yeah, it's interesting that they would let him go.
They let him go. They have more money because they're in the Bundesliga, so they're probably trying to what they feel is upgrade that position. But again, so then maybe it's a situation where it makes sense for both clubs and players.
Yeah, but they don't view him clearly then as a Bundesliga player, right? Or they got some sort of deal that made sense.
Sure, but also again, maybe that is, and we poo-poo it all the time because all we talk about is Premier League and Bundesliga and Serie A. Maybe that's his level, and I don't say that as like a knock.
Yeah.
Maybe that's his level, and if he does really, really well and can score 15 goals in the championship, there's a really good living to be had, and a team and a position on the World Cup team to be had too. So,
well, not necessarily. Josh Sargent just did that.
Maybe that. Well, it's not because of goal scoring, right? Because he scores goals. He scores goals where he goes.
Something else there.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's move on to MLS. So it was great to get back into MLS. There were a lot of very interesting matchups. I think the headliner of the weekend. If you're an Ohio native, was great. Hell is real. So Cincy home lost 4-2 to Columbus. Incredible. Columbus were down 2 goals after the first 5 minutes on the road in that rivalry and came back to score 4 unanswered. So they are they're fun to watch. I've said it a million times. Wilfred Nancy, I think, is maybe the best coach in MLS. Yeah. And that was a dismantling.
Yeah.
It's really impressive.
The hell is real derby. I mean, it doesn't get better than that name. The tifos are amazing. The game itself was really good. The game itself, I agree with you regarding Columbus, but you got to give a shout out to these MLS teams who've created these derbies, right? Because on the surface, they've just created like a statewide or rivalry or hate or regional hate, but like it's become so palpable and so real that when you speak to people there, like they've been yearning for like 2 things. I think on a soccer landscape, they've been yearning for a team and they've been yearning for someone to hate, right? Like you think about when you talk to soccer fans, like where places you go, and it's like the European calendar, right? Like schedule comes out. When are we playing Cincinnati? When are we playing Columbus? And I just think it's great. I do. So, I mean, obviously the game itself was really, really good. But ultimately, I love the derbies.
And it's 2 good teams, too. So that's what made it fun.
Yeah.
All right. We kind of buried the lead there. But Messi now 5 games in a row with multiple goals.
Yeah.
This is crazy. I mean, Andrew was asking if I had ever been in a run of form like that. The only time I can think of, and I wasn't close to scoring 2 goals a game for 5 games. But this is the analogy I was using. So in 2013, we played in the Gold Cup. And for whatever reason, we had like let's call it an A- B+ team. We had some guys missing, but Mexico was missing a bunch of their guys. And everyone else, I don't know if there was qualifying or there was something else going on. A bunch of teams were missing their players. So in a normal competition, you play Honduras, El Salvador. I think we played Belize, Cuba. You're going to beat them. But this was like their B teams. Okay, so you can just imagine. So during that time, I think that's probably the closest I ever felt to feeling what it's like to be Lionel Messi. Because every game, Tim, I said, if I just want to be the guy who tries to score 2 or 3 goals, like when Kobe tried to score 81 against Toronto, I could probably score 2 or 3 goals in this game. And I would never say that in any pro game I ever played, except in that tournament. And so he's done this now 5 games in a row. Yep. Where he's basically says, if I want to score a couple goals, I can do it. And it's just, I don't know. You said it last week. You're like, he's confusing to you because you just don't know how he keeps doing it.
No.
And I just don't know how he keeps. And by the way, they beat a really good Nashville team. Nashville hadn't lost in 15 across all competitions.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it was, I mean, he's just really impressive, man.
The interesting thing when I was watching that game, I was like, having score, I mean, you know as well as I do, right? Like as a goalkeeper, you keep a couple clean sheets. You just think you're gonna keep clean sheets. You just illustrated the story. Like when you're scoring goals in that type of run, you just think you're probably gonna score, as opposed to like, I feel off today. I'm looking at the game. He scored in 2 goals in 4 consecutive games. And I'm like, I'm not gonna bet on this, but if I did, I would bet that he scored 2. You know what I mean? Like there was just something about it. But also woeful. The other side of it was woeful, man. I played against Messi and I know it's freaking difficult. I get it. But like the first goal, free kick outside the box. You can't say not to give away a foul because it's Messi and the guy was late on the tackle. Messi dangles the leg and goes down and like it's a foul. So like, okay. But like I can tell you from a goalkeeper standpoint, that ball was just outside the 18-yard box, or maybe a little bit further outside the 18-yard box, right? Perfect position on the right side, his right side of the goal. Left foot up and over. Like this is going in, right? You put someone underneath the wall, which I don't believe in, but for Messi, put someone underneath the wall. You tell the wall to jump as high as humanly possible, okay? And I'm going to stand on my side of the goal. If he puts it up and over, we're going to live with that. We're going to blame the guy who fouled him outside the box. That's how this is going to work. But what I'm not going to do, 1,000,000,000%, what I'm not going to do as a goalkeeper is try and guess and like make an amazing save. Because by the way, LD, and you've seen Messi, if Messi goes up and over the wall, that ball's going up and over the wall into the corner. You could be standing there, you're still not going to get it, right? Right? Like I'm not taking a piss here. Like you know this. Yep. So keeper, just stay on your side. As it was, the keeper leans, it goes to the goalkeeper side, gift wraps it. Speaking of gift wrapping, the second goal, Willis takes it off his chest. He goes to play out of the back. It turns into an absolute disaster. Messi just steps in the path of the ball. He was playing from the goalkeeper to the center back or to the fullback. Messi presses. It looked to me semi-half-hearted until he felt like he could bite on the ball, and then he just takes it and puts it in. And a couple people diving around. It looks like a cartoon, and he has 2. So I don't know. I said bet. Maybe I should bet. You want to do like you want to do
2 goals in the next game?
We'll do a USLNT.
There's no way there's no way he does
put
it
$5 on it. Are we allowed to? If we're not allowed to bet, I promise I won't. But
it's funny you asked that. I was thinking the same thing in Vegas this weekend. I was like, am I actually allowed? But I was telling my wife, I'm like, I don't play. I don't have any insight info. I'm not like I'm asking someone, are you going to win today? What's your lineup? Da, da, da. So I guess we can bet.
I actually think by rules of my ownership investment in Houston Dynamo,
by Houston.
I probably am definitely not betting
bet
the game.
But
bet. If I was a betting man, I would put $5 on the fact that he'll score another brace. Why not?
I don't know.
We'll revisit this next time.
Okay. Miami, by the way, they're 5th in the East, but 3 fewer games than everyone else. So it's gonna be interesting to keep watching that.
Oh, I got another one for you. Sorry.
What?
Yeah, points. We were talking. We were talking about like points per game. Miami's like the best in the league.
Yeah,
like they're cruising slightly under the radar.
They've played so many other games.
I know.
So they're way down. They're further down the standings than you expect. But they're going to make them up.
Right. So this is my other point. Sorry. So I'm watching this game, right? And I'm thinking the goalkeeper had a nightmare. Which, by the way, I know what that looks like. I've had a few. But the goalkeeper has a nightmare, and I'm thinking, if I'm correct, the striker, Surridge, he is in the Golden Boot race.
Correct.
And Messi like caught him up. And I'm thinking, if I'm going to the dressing room after the game, I'm looking at this guy going, bro, are you for real? Like, he doesn't need any more help. I'm barely getting by here in the Golden Boot race, and you just gift him 2 goals. I was thinking, would they be rowing? Because you would. But anyway.
You know how many games I went in like before the game started, and I said, I don't care what happens, he does not score today. Okay? Like if someone else is going to score, fine. He does not. And for whatever reason, he was leading. I hated the guy, whatever. I was like, he is not scoring.
Yeah.
We got that? Of course he'd probably score.
But here's the thing. Here's the other thing. And I'm digressing, but you're going to forgive me. So my best friend is very high up in the NBA, and I ask him all the time. I'm saying, like, there's 5 people on the court, right? This guy scores all the points. All the points. I'm saying, what if you just took him out of the game, right? You defend, double team, whatever, took him out of the game and gave one of the other guys the ball every time. Let him beat you every time.
Right.
I think you win most of the time.
Anyway, I think so too.
We have to move on. I digress. All right, relax. All right. I heard you, Jordan.
All right, last game we'll talk about, and it's time for our Control Your Game presented by NHTSA. When you speed, you have less time to react. Follow the speed limit to keep other road users safe. Speeding catches up with you. Paid for by NHTSA. All right, the man who is definitely in full control, Tim, of his game. I told you not to sleep on him.
You did.
Anders Dreyer, 2 goals for San Diego. They go to Chicago. They beat a good Chicago team. He now becomes the 3rd ever MLS player to have 10 goals and 15 assists in his debut campaign. Sebastian Giovinco and Darwin Quintero did that with Minnesota United. And we're only at the All-Star break. We're only halfway through the season, and he's already done it.
All right, let me riff here. You told me about this guy. He's in your backyard. Everyone's wearing his shirt. You've seen him. I slept a little bit, not a lot. I trust your judgment. What I would say is I don't buy many tickets. One, because I just prefer to stay home and watch it on TV. Or if I do go to games, I got enough juice to get a ticket. I'm gonna buy a ticket to watch this guy. It's true story.
There we go.
Because I'm blown away. You read those stats: 10 goals and 15 assists in his debut campaign. The bottom part, it's not even the All-Star break yet.
Yeah.
Like, is it far-fetched to say that he'll be a 15 goal, 20 assist player? Like,
I mean, easily.
Easily, right?
Yeah. And if not for the best player that's ever played the game in the history of the game, who actually has 10 goals in his last 5 games, he would be the MVP.
He might be.
San Diego's top of the league.
All right, hang on.
Or top of the West.
Right.
What?
Yeah, you're right.
He's not going to be the MVP. Messi scores 0 more goals. He's still going to win the MVP.
I'm going to ask you a question. Keep going.
No, I'm good. Go ahead.
All right. So this is obviously being recorded. So they win the West, right?
Yeah.
San Diego wins the West.
Mm-hmm.
He gets, what did I say, 15, 20, he's going to 25. He's going to have to get more. He gets 17 goals, 25 assists. It's a lot, but doable. 17. Is he on penalties, by the way? Do you know?
That I don't know. I don't believe he is, actually.
Okay, which makes it amazing. He's on 17 goals, 25 assists. San Diego wins the West. No chance he wins MVP? Like, you have to. I love Messi.
0 chance.
I know why you think so.
0 chance. There's no chance. It's not happening.
It's your trophy, right?
It doesn't.
I'm asking. No. It's a Landon Donovan trophy.
There is less percentage chance that I have a say in it than he's going to win. It's less than 0.
Okay. So since this is being recorded, and I'm not taking the piss, I feel like you think I am. If your guy from your second team, because your first team is not doing well, if San Diego win the West, he gets 17 goals and 25 assists. Will you call Don Garber? Not that Don has anything to do with it. I'm saying, will you call him and show me from your phone that you called him and just lobby?
If he gets to that point?
If he gets to that point.
Okay, I will.
Okay.
Deal.
Thank you. That's all.
Thank you. I don't think Don knows anything about that, though. He's got bigger fish to fry.
He's got bigger fish. I know.
All right. Well, Anders is in immense control of his game. That is very clear. So let's hope for his sake and San Diego's sake it keeps going. All right. Well, Anders Dreyer is in immense control of his game. Make sure you stay in control of your game. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we will get into all your questions in the AT&T Fan Connection and talk anything but soccer. Really good anything but soccer this week. Right here on Unfiltered Soccer with Landon and Tim, presented by Volkswagen. When you speed while driving, you have less time to react to whatever comes across your path.
A sharp turn could take you by surprise, causing you to veer off the road.
Another car could turn out in front of you, leading to a fender bender.
A truck could brake suddenly, injuring you and the other driver.
A pedestrian could be walking their dog, and your foot on the gas might lead to a tragedy.
You may not think any of these things can happen to you, but you won't see them coming until they happen. When you're speeding, you don't have time to course correct, and it only takes an instant for disaster to strike.
The speed limit isn't just there to protect you, but everyone around you too.
So slow down, obey the law, and keep everyone on the road safe.
Speeding catches up with you. Paid for by NHTSA.
There's nothing better than feeling like someone has your back and that things are going to get done without you even having to ask.
Like fans who start to sing and chant at the exact moment their team needs to rally.
A coach who can change strategies at halftime to help their team win.
A keeper you know is defending your goal.
Or a forward who is always ready to receive the ball.
At Unfiltered Soccer, Tim and I know all too well how important it is to be sure someone out there has your back. And that's precisely why AT&T has a new guarantee.
The AT&T guarantee is all about having your back. When you're with AT&T, if there's a network interruption, they'll proactively make it right with a credit for a full day of service, guaranteed.
Visit att.com/guarantee to learn more. Terms and conditions apply.
AT&T, connecting changes everything.
Credit for fiber downtime lasting 20 minutes or more, or wireless downtime lasting 60 minutes or more, caused by a single incident impacting 10 or more towers. Restrictions and exclusions apply. See att.com/guarantee for full details.
It's time for the Fan Connection presented by AT&T. Every week we invite you, the listener, to connect with us by submitting your questions. The best way to grow the game of soccer in the U.S. is to keep asking questions and keep talking about the sport we all love. At AT&T, connecting changes everything. And on USLNT, our connections with you will help grow the game. Yes, it's that time. The AT&T Fan Connection. We get to connect with you, the fan, and we also get to hang out with Jordan a little bit. Jordan, come on in. I love your shirt, by the way, because we were talking about My Chemical Romance this morning, weren't we?
Yes, I love this. Landon went to see Nas, who's your favorite artist.
Correct.
And I went to see my favorite artist, My Chemical Romance. They opened their tour in Seattle this past weekend. So
I didn't know you actually went to the concert.
And you disrespected me, a man of the people that I am. You disrespected me.
I did.
Tell everyone what you did.
I didn't know that you listened to My Chemical Romance. I just assumed that I would have to do a lot of work to indoctrinate you. But
I'm incredibly well-rounded.
Are they like a
they're an emo
like
band.
ska? Yeah, like
You're just chucking out ska. You don't even know what any of that is.
I would
don't
say
really.
though, they were playing the album The Black Parade, which is the shirt I'm wearing, an old shirt. The Black Parade is Dead, is more like arena rock. Like it's a big sound.
what does that mean, arena rock?
Like Queen.
Oh,
yeah. So like
that's a big shout.
yeah. The Black Parade album is actually influenced by The Wall by Pink Floyd, which is another like big sounding
Cool.
band. So yeah, it
Look
was
at
really
us.
fun.
Musically
Mhm.
inclined. What do you got for
Very.
us today?
I got a lot of questions,
I like
and
that.
actually, they're a lot for you. So buckle up, Tim.
Who? Me.
Okay, you know what? Let's just come in real hot. Here we
Come
go.
on.
This one's from Ian via email. Tim, take us back to that fateful night in Trinidad in October 2017.
Oh, wow.
Was there a moment in that match when you realized we might actually lose and fail to qualify for the World Cup? For both Landon and Tim, what was going through your mind when it actually happened?
Yeah, it's a good question because I never thought I'd see the day. During the game, and I think we were waiting for another result. It was Panama. It was Panama somewhere, right? After the game, we were on the field. I didn't really want to stick around, but we were waiting desperately for another result or something happened or someone got a penalty at the end. Anyway, some crazy CONCACAF thing. And no, to be brutally honest, it was all very surreal. In the game, you're hoping to just find a goal from somewhere. You just think the miracles will happen. Something will happen, and it didn't. And I vividly remember going back to the hotel. Nothing, like literally nothing was said in the dressing room. Nothing was said on the team bus. Go back to the hotel. DeMarcus Beasley and I were roommates at the back end of my national team career. He was just laying in bed. I was laying in bed. He was on his way. Had we won, he would have been on his fourth or fifth World Cup. I think 1, 2, 3, 4. Fifth. I was going to a fourth. Like it was written in the stars. And then it wasn't. We went downstairs to a team meal. Jesus Christ, a team meal. Like, I mean, you want to talk about The Walking Dead? There were just people. No one was saying anything. The coaches weren't saying like, okay, we'll do that. No one spoke. Walked out of the room, went back upstairs, laid on the bed. He was on his phone. I was on phone. Like said not like, no one said anything. You just thought I don't know, in my brain, I just thought something was going to miraculously happen. Like we were going to somehow get entry to the World Cup. Like someone would figure out some way. Like it just didn't seem real. As stupid as it sounds, it just didn't seem real.
I was sitting at home watching on my couch, and it was 2-0, right? They went up 2-0.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So it's 2-0 at halftime?
Yes, I think that's correct.
Okay. So my buddy Devin, who listens to the pod, he said he sent me a text earlier in the day and said, "Do you want to come over and watch?" I think he was thinking it was going to be a celebration. So at halftime, I was like, I got to change something up. So I went over to his house. As the minutes wore on in the second half, I had this feeling in my gut that I've only had one other time in my life. And I was sitting there watching it happen. And it's like that sick feeling in your stomach, and it wouldn't go away. And then I sat there and I was in disbelief. That's the best way. I mean, like you said, like you literally can't believe that just happened.
I know.
And we say that kind of like hyperbolically all the time, but I couldn't believe what I was watching. Yeah. It was crazy.
Yeah. I think I've said on this podcast before, like, you know, that was epic failure. I certainly, with my teammates have held our hand up, and I certainly do. I honestly remember, LD, I had at the time I played in Florida, and I can't remember who was my coach in Denver, but they were like, you can have a few days off. I went straight to my place in Florida, and I'm not a depressed person. Obviously, mental health is real, and I've never had bouts of depression. I remember being depressed and numb, like the world was just hazy. I would go into a store and people would talk to me, or I would talk to someone, but I was just in a haze. It was incredible, man. It was incredible. Sad. Good question.
I have literally no idea how to transition out of that.
And now straight out of it. Failure happens.
This one's from Steve via email. Actually, just for clarity, there are two questions from someone called Steve. They're not the same Steve. So I'm just saying that now. So
right.
The first Steve sent an email and said, as a retired referee with most of my 15-year career spent as the man in the middle, I was wondering what Landon and Tim think players want from a referee. Also, why can't soccer have a clock controlled by the referee on the field? And finally, any referee stand out as doing a terrific job for you in big games?
The clock one, I feel like that'd be hard for a referee with all the things going on to then have to stop your clock, start it again, stop it. So I feel like that would be challenging. But you could have somebody doing it, maybe not the center ref. I don't mind that idea. And then as far as referees that have stood out, I mean, there's been a lot over the years. The way I watch a game and the way when I played a game, what I wanted from a referee was a few things. Consistency. Number one. The worst thing is when you think you get fouled, the referee doesn't blow the whistle, the ball goes down the other way, the other team has a similar type foul happen to them, and then he blows the whistle. So it's like compounding the mistake, and that would drive players absolutely crazy. The second thing I wanted from a referee was to be human. And the amount of times where I would blow up at a referee, that wasn't a foul, and the ref would go, you know what, I might have missed that one. I'm sorry. And then it's diffused. What am I going to say? I'm not going to keep going at, well, you bet. I said, I'm sorry. I might have missed it. I'm sorry. I thought it was a foul. I didn't see it, and that's it. So just be human in those moments, because the ones who drive you crazy are the arrogant ego, or like, get out of here. That was a foul. You know it was. And you're just like, get out of it. Just stop, dude. I'm playing the game. I got fouled. If you didn't see it, fine. But don't tell me it wasn't a foul, you know? So that's what I wanted.
Well said. I mean, look, I apologize to a lot of referees because I've said horrific things. I had to I told you I had to go to a dark place to perform and to compete. I said things to my opponent and referee and fans. I probably would take back. Some of them I would actually double down on. But the referees that I hate, and I've called other players idiotic as well. There's certain referees that are just idiotic. The ones you're talking about, Landon, are like, that should be part of your refereeing education, is like
totally
learning the mindset of a player. Like most of these players aren't bad guys. They're just in the heat of the moment. They're insecure as hell. They're just trying to get by. They're emotional. Like, learn how to deal with that. Two referees stand out. The first one, for a funny reason, and anyone who was refereed by him in the Premier League, his name was Mark Halsey. And Mark Halsey was funny as bleep. I mean, this guy this guy, I would say, like, and by the way, it wasn't just me. I mean, he was so amazing. Ball would go out and I'd go, hey, Mark. And he'd go, oh, let me guess. You're going to think I'm a effing so-and-so. And he'd laugh and he'd run off. And like, what was I supposed to do? I was like, I just started laughing because that's what I was going to call him. And he'd like, hurry up and get on with the goal kick or something. But Howard Webb, hands down, he's the greatest referee that I've ever witnessed. You know, Howard Webb was, I think he refereed the 2010 World Cup final, Holland versus Spain. I think he was a longtime Premier League referee. He headed up the referees for the MLS, and he does now for the Premier League. I think by all accounts he was some sort of some sort of police officer. He was in law enforcement, so his ability to diffuse situations, Jordan, to the question, was like not. By the way, his shoulders and bicep and chest it was a barrel. So like you walked up on him and you're like, I'm not really sure what I'm going to say to him right now, you know? And like in any big moment, he walk away, you're done. And like there's 20 people around him and he's talking to the captain. And like I'm trying to yell at him, thinking it was like a school teacher. I'm like, nothing I say to this guy is going to like affect him. So he was amazing. I thought he was brilliant in the way he handled players. But again, I talk about like referee education. He got that education in law enforcement. So he knew how to de-escalate situations. Anyway, yeah, awesome question.
How about another question from someone called Steve? But it's over in Steve. The reason I asked this question is because I think it's a pretty basic question, Tim, for you to answer about goalkeeping. But I think it's a question that a lot of people don't understand why these decisions get made. So let me ask his questions.
Good.
Why is it that goalkeepers almost always try to guess where the ball is going to go? Why not just stand their ground and try to react? I assume that there is some data as to which strategy is best.
That's a great question.
Is this like a penalty or just?
I think he's talking about penalties, but in it could be in general. But I like when I was reading the question, I was imagining penalties specifically.
In penalties. It would, if anyone remembers the old Benny Hill skits, it would be the best comedy skit ever. If you were to tell the goalkeeper, right, we're in a World Cup, we're talking world-class players. Landon Donovan standing on the penalty spot, Tim Howard, you're in goal. If all I could do was react at the moment he hit the ball, you would see me dive after the ball hit the back of the net. Like that's how fast this goes. So it's an impossibility. Some goalkeepers can like wait and react, and every now and again they make a save, but like the penalty has to be a crap penalty. If Landon takes a really good penalty and it curls just inside one of the posts, high or low, and I react only after I see where it's going, I'm just gonna fall on the ground after the ball's hit. You can't. It's impossible.
They would have to move penalties to midfield in order for you to have enough time to react.
Yeah. So reaction time. So
okay, but what about in the run of play? Because I think it's a good question.
Yeah, in the run of play. I mean, in the run of play, I think from a goalkeeping standpoint, like again, you and me, you're closing me down, you're barreling in on. Like I don't think you're guessing on like long range shots unless you get somehow deceived by the ball. But like in tight, sometimes you'll see like, you know, within like 10 yards, you and me, you're barreling down on me, you're looking at me, right? You've got time. I can try and close the angle down and give you less to look at, but ultimately, you got a lot of goal behind me, and you're clever enough to pick out a side. So I've got to do my best to like lean one way and you know, drag a hand or a leg, leave it in the road to hopefully get a piece of something, because otherwise it's really, really difficult to wait and then react because it's just the time and the distance is so short.
I had a few goalkeeper coaches. I would ask this because I wanted to know it from the goalie's perspective because I felt like that helped me. And a few of them would say the same thing. They would say majority of goals get scored within like a yard of you. That's where the ball passes your body, majority of them. So that's whatever the data says there. So it's way less, or sorry, it's more rare than people think to like bang it just inside the post. It's just not the way it goes. So he said, as a goalkeeper, the way these ones would teach is that you just need to stand there and be as big as possible and not give them a goal, right? Because it's hard, like make someone score a goal. And if they smash it in the corner, they smash it in the corner. But there's so many. I mean, the Messi one you just talked about, he made it so much easier by guessing the side of the wall And then Messi from 18 yards to roll it in on a wet field. I mean, that's not hard to do.
Not hard. Well, it's
Right,
interesting. That's really interesting that they said that to you, because I agree with it. Manuel Neuer was the best in the world for forever. And I think Alisson at Liverpool is the current best in the world. And they both different techniques, but they both do a really great job of actually chest forward, not really. Now, sometimes they get beat and it gets rolled down the side, but often they make a ton of those saves in tight because they kind of and wait, and Alisson has a really great way of coming out and sliding. Again, the hard part for me, and when I teach young goalkeepers, or they ask me questions, it's like I was the same, dude. Like when someone was barreling down on me, and I've taken a really great position, it's like I'm now about to get absolutely wellied with a 75-mile-an-hour shot, and sometimes I just flinch or I get out of the way. Like it's not a perfect science because we're human, but the best are brave.
Thank you for recognizing that Alisson is.
Here we go.
Appreciate that.
Jeez.
Here we go.
All right, that's it. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, JR. All right, that was awesome. Actually, Tim, too, a quick shout out. We have great partners. We really do here. And AT&T, this Sunday, I'm going to be doing an appearance for AT&T in Austin. And
Nice.
just want to say they're really good people. They just last minute, they needed help. And you know how it goes when you have good partners. It's
Absolutely.
like, we'll do it. So we're going to be at the All-Star game next week. I will be there Sunday evening.
Can't wait.
Just, pay attention. And hopefully I see you guys there. It'd be really fun.
Very cool.
All right, ABS, anything but soccer. So this is cool. I like this.
This is good.
All right, in the women's semifinal at Wimbledon last week, there was a moment when Amanda Anisimova hit a shot. It clipped the net, fell over the net. She won the point. Arina Sabalenka, who she's playing, she is fiery.
Yeah.
She was upset that she didn't say sorry, that Anisimova didn't say sorry after it hit the net and fell over. And so it just got us all thinking on the chat, like, what are some of these unwritten rules in sports that are either good or some that are just like ridiculous, right? And this one to me, look, I played tennis for like 7 years after I retired.
Okay.
This one was always crazy to me because you hit the net and it goes over and you won the point, but then you're like, oh, my bad. I'm so sorry. I'm like, what the hell are you apologizing for? You won the point. And so it's just bizarre. That one's bizarre to me. And we're going to go into a few more.
We're going to go into a few more. But you mentioned this in our production call about tennis, right? We both play a little tennis. It's like, you didn't mean, like, what are you apologizing for? You didn't mean, you were trying to hit a good shot. It clipped the net. Like, stop saying sorry. Some of these sports, like, stop saying sorry. There's no, like, and by the way, she can get mad about it. The other girl?
She was pissed.
Do me a favor.
She was pissed. But Tim, think about this. Imagine I'm like on a breakaway and I go to hit the shot and I just like slice it off the side. I like totally mishit it. And by the way, I scored a ton of goals like that.
Right.
And it goes in the goal. There's zero chance I'm apologizing.
Correct.
I'm going to be like, Tim, it came off the outside of my foot. I was trying to smash it across the goal mouth. You would never, ever.
You wheel away and celebrate. End of story.
Of course you do. And you don't even think about it. So it's so
do.
okay. So let's get into a few of these other ones. And actually, I really want you guys to tell us some of your most annoying ones. Cause this is like, this is a bar. I'm going to start with this one. This one drives me crazy. This one really gets me fired up. So in baseball, I can't figure out when a pitcher inadvertently, not trying to hit the guy, throws 100-mile-an-hour fastball in the middle of a guy's back or hits his arm or whatever. Can you not, this is a case where, can you not just look at the guy and say, my bad, dude. Like, I didn't mean, there's like this macho, like, oh, yeah, take it, go to first. I'm like, come on, dude. Like, real manly, you're going to throw a hard ball at a guy from 60 feet away?
Yeah.
Like, what a man you are. And then the pitcher, Tim, now never bats. So then the other team's pitcher comes out and hits your best player. But by the way, you're just sitting there like, all right, you guys go at it. I started it, but I'm never going to get hit. So it doesn't, I mean, this to me is the dumbest thing.
It's a tangled web. We're going to go off on one here. Look, I'm looking at like unwritten rules in baseball. We have it pulled up, right? Like a couple of my love. You're not supposed to talk to a pitcher who's got a no hitter going into like the seventh inning.
So
I love that one. I think it's amazing. Love it.
Isn't it worse though? Everyone knows like
totally.
Talk to him.
It's all right.
Good job.
Superstition. I get it. Right, you're not supposed to steal a base.
Well, maybe the pitcher wants you to be.
Like, no, he doesn't. He's locked in.
Okay. You're not supposed to steal a base. What?
You're not supposed to steal a base when your team has a huge lead. I get that. Okay, whatever.
It's about stats.
You're not supposed to bunt to break up a no hitter, which I do appreciate. Like, come on, like if you're not good enough to hit the guy, then like don't bunt. The thing you were touching upon, right, is I got a major problem. I'm not trying to rewrite baseball lore, but like I got a big problem. So you said the guy gets hit, so the next time up, unwritten rule, I got to hit you, bro. I'm coming for your head. Okay. Here's the problem I have. You possess a lethal weapon in a baseball and your arm, and you're going to throw it 103 miles an hour at my chin, right?
I'm 60 feet away. Yeah.
I'm 60 feet away. So I'm going to build this scenario for you just so I can give you my point. Once you do that, if I'm not dazed and confused and dead, I can get up and chase you down to try and fight you.
Mm-hmm.
I got a gorilla in catcher's gear chasing me from behind, right? By the time I get to you, third base, second base, shortstop, first base are there. My guys haven't even got over the top of the dugout yet. So I'm like 1-on-7. I don't even know if my math is right. I'm like 1-on-6, 1-on-7. And I can't take the bat with me. What? I got a big problem with that, Major League Baseball. Like, I know everyone's saying, well, how dare you? Hang on. How dare you hit me with 100-mile-an-hour fastball in the chin? Your best friend, the catcher, is breathing down my neck about to stomp me. And I can't bring the bat? Like, where else does that work? I live in New York. If someone throws something at me, I'm going to pick up the first thing that's not bolted down, and I'm going to chuck it at him.
I'm fine with it.
Right,
I'm fine with it because the pitcher never gets any repercussion.
Or, there was one smart guy in baseball. I can't remember what it was. And you guys can tell us, and maybe production. He got hit by a pitch and was like, I'm going after the pitcher, but you know what I'm going to do first? I'm going to drop kick the catcher in the chest. And he did.
Him there.
I'm trying to think who it was. I want to say it was a Yankee, but it wasn't. Kicked the pitcher in the chest or catcher in the chest, and then beelined it for the pitcher because he's like, at least I can take one out. So anyway, it was amazing. But
that's so good.
I mean, some of these are crazy. Like some of these are crazy because you move to soccer, right? It's like, and you had an interesting take on this because when a goal scorer scores against his former team, there's like this, if you all can see me, he's like puts his hand up and goes, "Oh no,
can't celebrate.
Like, I won't celebrate out of respect." And like you tell me the story, but like
we had a guy at Loyal score against his former team. Well, and by the way, I had no idea. I researched this guy for 3 years trying to sign him. I had no idea he even played for this team. Right.
Okay.
And the reason why is because he played like 3 games for that team. So he scores against them and he runs to the corner and he puts his hands up. I'm like, you were there for a cup of coffee, dude. Like, really? I can see if you were there for 10 years. And
right.
But like, it's just so funny.
Oh, what other ones we have? I'm just trying to think. The kicking the ball. I was like, golf. I'm not even gonna get into your sport, golf. Walking across someone's putting line. One of the reasons I don't play golf is there's way too many rules.
There's in golf, there's so
way
many
too many
ones.
rules.
The putting line is interesting because they do it for pros, right? And the pros, if you have a heavy foot and you step and there's a little mark, the pros are so good that even from like 30 feet, if it hits that a little differently, it might not go in. For an amateur golfer, sometimes people go, "Oh, my bad." And I go, dude, I pray to God I'm good enough one day where that little footprint actually matters. Like that little divot groove actually matters. It's so ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. Again, why I don't play golf. What I would say is there's an unwritten rule, and I know you being half Canadian subscribe to this. I subscribe to it. And the unwritten rule in hockey is if you touch my best player, I've got a goon that's 6'7", 230, skates like a ballerina. He's coming over the top of those boards if you touch my best skater. End of story. Like that's my favorite.
I love it
rule because you know what it eliminates? It eliminates shithousery. It eliminates it. It's like no problem, but there's going to be a problem.
We're going to fists.
That's it.
I love it. And then all you do is you get like a 5-minute penalty. It's like whatever, fine.
That's the other thing about it, right? Like in all these other sports, like you can't.
You'd be suspended for months.
You're suspended for all these things, right? I'm not condoning that we bring fighting into soccer or anything else, right? Like in football, it takes care of itself, right? You're like, this guy's going over. American football. This guy's going over the middle. I'm going high on him. I'm going to get a 15 yard penalty or whatever, or maybe you get tossed. I think you get tossed for one game, right? For targeting. I can't remember. Whatever. But it's one. In soccer, you blow on a guy, that's like 3 games and it's going to a panel. You might get another one. So you missed like 3, you like a tenth of the season. Wild.
All right. We want to know what are some other ones, because we can talk about them on the show next week. But that one riled me up when she got all mad about it the other day. All right, great show. Thank you, guys. It was awesome. Remember, as always, subscribe on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere you get your podcasts, and then Unfiltered Soccer on all our social media for bonus content.
Thank you all. Thank you all for listening, for chiming in, giving us your feedback, the good and the bad. We'd love it. Thank you to our presenting sponsor, VW, our Fan Connection sponsor, AT&T, and our Control Your Game sponsor, NHTSA, and, of course, our Unfiltered Refresh sponsor, Coors Light. Have a great week. We'll be back next week with another edition of Unfiltered Soccer.